Oh well. That goes, there we go. You know, there are a lot of things that are created by accident or by a small idea that can turn to something greater. For instance, penicillin was created by accident in 1928. A scientist named Alexander Fleming forgot to clean up his workstation before he left for a vacation. When he returned, he noticed that there was a strange fungus growing on some of his cultures. What was strange to him was that it hadn't thrived near those cultures. The fungus hadn't thrived because the penicillin was in the cultures. This quickly became one of the most advanced medical antibiotics of the 20th century, and it's the same story for a drink that most of you may know about in a little red can. Why don't you follow me? As most of you have noticed by now, I am made of clay. This was done by the young chap who I'm representing today, at your service. The way I move is when my creator takes a picture of me, and then moves me a little bit, and then repeats. Then the photos are played in a line, and I can do things like this. So the reason I'm here to talk to you today is to ask you, what have you ever done that was great? Did you start a trend that became widely popular, or did you make a new kind of food that was really good? Well, if so, all of you have made a spark, which led to a big fire. Like so. If most of you don't get what I or any others before or after me are talking about, when we say the spark, we are really talking about a little idea that turns into something greater or better. Much like how the spark I made led to the fuse starting. When ideas catch on, it's almost like a fuse is catching on fire, and then the grand finale with the giant fire, which is like ideas spreading around. Beautiful, isn't it? But the real reason I'm here today is to talk to you all about claymation, stop motion, and stop action. Stop motion, as mentioned before, is when a figure is moved the tiniest little bit, and then a picture is taken, and then they repeat to create movement. Quite simple, actually. But I want to know, have any of you ever made an animation? Come on, let's see a show of hands. Okay, well, if you haven't, perhaps you should, and here's why. Animating with stop motion can be very relaxing and interesting. You can just sit back, relax, and make fun little figures out of clay. And you don't even have to make them. You could just use action figures.
They're called dolls, idiot!
I'll be quiet. Anyways, action figures are also really easy to use and fun. Some popular media can also inspire animation. So I'm mainly talking about passions, if you haven't already caught that. A lot of people don't really have passions about stuff that they do, and trust me, watching your recorded TV shows on your DVR isn't a passion. Look, here's the definition. Okay, and here we go. Passion, a strong and barely controllable emotion. See, I told you so. But really, animation is always fun to see, and everybody has maybe wanted to create one once, but couldn't really do it. That is why, my friends, I believe stop motion is so great. All you need is clay, a camera, a set, and creativity. You can do anything you want, and you only have minor boundaries. If you see this and are inspired to make your own stop motions of your own, you can also tell others about it and get them interested. So go ahead. When you leave here today, make your own spark on something you have a passion for. Good night.